What is going on? I still have a white button there. I still have that there. It's okay, I'm live. That's what it says now. That is the longest time it has ever taken pressing that button for it to happen, and I was about to give up then. Welcome to another Costa Women Hangout. My name is Fiona Catchpole. This is, I believe, number 99. Okay, so the next one is going to be a bit of a party. And I have a guest on the other line today. I don't actually even know where she's from, so it's going to be a complete surprise to me as well. But it is Geraldine Scott. Good morning, Geraldine.
Hello, Fiona. How are you? Thanks for having me.
You're more than welcome. So do tell me, whereabouts are you in Spain currently?
Well, I am in beautiful Costa Blanca in Altea, right on the Mediterranean. So living a high old life here in Spain. I'm originally from Dublin, but I've spent a lot of time living in other parts of the world. I've lived in London and worked extensively in London in human resource management, and I've also lived in California. And
that's the bit of the accent I could hear. I would not have got Dublin from that, given that we've just been talking for 5 minutes.
Yeah, most people don't. And the really interesting thing is that in Spain, everybody thinks I'm Dutch, so I don't know where that comes from, but we'll go with it. I'm a woman of the world, so but loving living in Spain and learning the language, or at least making a good attempt at it.
And when did you arrive in Spain?
We've been here about 4 years now. Yeah, just over 4 years. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. And this is a Costa Women Hangout. So tell me, how did you find Costa Women, and how is it helping you in your world in general?
Right. Well, in fact, I was looking at different groups of business women, and I wanted to find something a bit new. Because a couple of years ago, I got involved with a couple of network marketing companies. I thought it might be a useful thing to know what other businesses were going on in Spain, and what other women were doing as far as work and careers, and just basically having projects to do. So I found Costa Women, and I've been a member, I think, for about 18 months or so. It may even be longer. Actually, Ali's probably somewhere going, no, it's 2 years.
I get very confused. It just seems like forever to me, but it's been a great part of my world. So
it's a wonderful resource, and everybody is so helpful. You can make friends there. Not so much up this end, actually. There's not that many people who are part of the group are in Costa Blanca, but maybe that will change as time goes on. And we'll see. But that's how I know Costa Women. So.
Okay, cool. And what brought you to Spain in the first place?
Well, that's kind of a loaded question, actually. I found myself in a situation where I needed to be in Europe for family issues, and sadly, after living in beautiful California for as long as I did, I was a bit of a wimp with the London weather. Okay. And the grey skies and the lack of light. So I came to visit some friends and some family who were living here, and we kind of thought, well, okay, this is not a bad place to hang out, with flights to Europe and other cities. So we came here and love it.
Cool. Now you are part of what is now a huge project. You were telling me just a moment ago about 40,000 members. And that is Expat in Spain. Tell me a little bit about how you started that and where you're at with it at the moment.
Absolutely. Fiona, that really started as a means of finding out some legal information about something in Spain that we were going through. Now, I wish to God I could remember what the question was that we put out, because it would be great to know what the first one was. But we got lots of people who helped us out and who made suggestions, and then other people joined, and then we suddenly found that there was 200 people in the group. Well, it was only supposed to be just for us, just to find out this information. Mm-hmm. So it grew and grew, and people really loved it. And then people started wanting to advertise on it, and we said, no, it's just going to be a forum. We just want it for people to ask questions, and let's keep it clean, let's keep it neat. And it grew and grew, and we are now just over the 42,000 member mark, which is absolutely astounding. We do a newsletter every month. We have a website behind it, so that people can, then obviously people can advertise on that. So that's great as well.
And had you had any experience of Facebook groups before that?
No, none at all. Absolutely zero. In fact, it was a huge learning curve, and it now seems that the world kind of runs on Facebook groups, and certainly with the network marketing companies that I'm involved with, obviously network groups are, just the absolute top of the tree. Really, you have to know how to run groups.
I've noticed, because Facebook coaching is my area, and in the last 6 years particularly, I've noticed that the groups have certainly become more powerful and useful than they were previously. And in the UK, it's a huge part of it. We still have a big focus on pages for business, but it's I've certainly noticed the expansion of the power of a group.
Oh yeah, I think it's where the business is being done. I mean, I noticed that with some of the groups that I am a member of with various businesses, it's absolutely astounding. The kind of numbers that they're doing business-wise that ordinarily you just wouldn't know about these businesses. I mean, isn't that the great thing about technology for women? It's such a level playing field now. You can really
we have 20 or more. I should know these statistics groups for Costa Women for each location to actually help people share information from Costa Women as well. So
very good. Very good. Well, we'll have to get together on one of those groups.
Yeah, I think there's Costa Women group for each location.
Okay, very good, very good.
So we'll find out which the one is closest to you, and
excellent.
Join you to that one. Good. So how has the website developed now then? And you mentioned network marketing as well. So you said to me just a moment ago that that was more like an experiment that you're doing. So just explain a little bit more about what Geraldine does in her work side and not just...
Yeah, absolutely. Well, because my background from years back, I hesitate to say how old I am, but years of experience in human resource management meant that I was very good at kind of finding out what people wanted to do. I was also very good and probably a bit of a pain in the neck at telling people what they were not good at doing, especially if they were in a business. I've talked lots of people out of their existing jobs and into what they want to do and what they should be doing. So in Spain, of course, with the economy being as fragile as it was, I looked to see what women were doing. And I noticed that network marketing companies, and there are so many to choose from, and that's one of the issues that I found a lot of women had. They couldn't decide what to do. Should they go into the health side of it? Should they go into the home decoration side of it? Should they go into the makeup side of it? So many to choose from. And so what I did was basically I joined a few just to see how they operated and was it possible to build a career? Was it possible to build it in Spain? And it's been an interesting exercise, and I've met a lot of women through it. The one thing that did come out from all the team members and other women that I met here was that they really wanted to have a group that they could, kind of bounce ideas off each other, not just network marketing, but other ideas. So I set up, it started off as a meetup group, to be honest, and I called it Grace and Power, Women in Business. Mainly because I am a committed Christian, and I believe the grace of God is what gives us our good lives and our happy lives. And I think when you add that into the equation, I think it works very well. And power, because then we have the power to do it. And it's been really successful. We have over 60 members now, and we meet up. Generally, it's once a month. In the new year, it will be twice a month, and I'll be doing breakfast meetings as well, because I had a request to do breakfast meetings as well for women who maybe have children in school. So we're going to be doing that, and it's kind of developed into a really nice little meetup group, because so many of the women, they have ideas about what they want to do. So when they meet other women then give them ideas about, well, don't go that way, but maybe try this, and just bouncing ideas off. And you know, how women are when they get together. Very practical.
That's exactly
you know,
right.
if this doesn't work, then who cares? You know, just toss it out and think of something else.
So it's almost like an extension or sidearm, if you like, of the way we work with Costa Women. So it's really interesting that you've fostered this similar sort of network, as it were, but within your genre of business, which is direct marketing, network marketing.
Yes, exactly.
Cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's been a lot of fun, and I've learned an awful lot from it. And now, as I said, we're going to have the website will be launching hopefully just before Christmas, if it's finished by then. Fingers crossed. It's a lot of work, and it'll just be a resource for women who are in that area, who can then just find different ideas, how to things like going back to the Facebook group, how to plan a Facebook group, how to plan an online party. All the stuff that they don't necessarily think of in the early days of their network marketing career, and then they think, oh, this isn't working, I'm going to give up. I'm a great one for not quitting.
Cool. Now, one of the questions I do like to ask is, what would you give as a top tip or piece of advice to somebody following in your footsteps as a expat and and a woman in business as well when coming to Spain?
Right. Well, the first tip I would have to give is that I really think it does you a lot of good to learn the language. Mm-hmm. Even if you don't use the language in your business and working life, I think it gives you a confidence that is something. I think you can't get it with anything else except learning a language. Mm. I remember with pride the first time I actually made a joke to a woman in the supermarket, and she got it, and it was one of my proudest moments. I wanted to go out high-fiving everybody, going, I can speak Spanish. I can speak Spanish. She understood. And sometimes it goes well, and other times I know what I've said is totally wrong.
Yeah.
So I think it just gives you, I think it just gives you a confidence, and it makes you realize that you are never ever too old to learn anything.
Yeah.
I mean, just as an example, and it's probably the genetics that I have. My mom last year, she's 78 now, so she's 79 next year. Decided that she would set up her own little business producing T-shirts, because she came up with a really great slogan for older people. And she said, well, I'll just set it up and I'll just print them myself, and then I'll just sell them to all my friends and neighbours, and they all love the slogan anyway.
And so, what was it? You have to tell us now. We all want one.
It was basically to do with like exercising, and it was kind of like a use it or lose it type of expression, and it was. The actual expression on the T-shirts is motion is lotion.
That's really
interesting. They absolutely, they're all crazy. They're all going around with their motion is lotion T-shirts. So
I'll get one for my mum for Christmas. We'll have to include the link to your mum's e-commerce project in your video. So that's absolutely brilliant. Listen, I could chat with you all day, but we have been yarning on now, and it's nice to keep us wanting to find out more about you. So if you can give me all the links to go in underneath the video and all the things that we'll be posting on social media. I think next time we'll do a double interview. We'll get your mum signed up to Costa Women, because I want to know more about what she's up to as well. And it'll be nice to find out more about your project as it evolves with the website as well.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much indeed. And thanks to you and Ali and all the Costa Women team. Wonderful.
Okay, more than welcome. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.